In this video, we're going to talk about 5 tips to make data migration easier for you. When moving from one tech system to another, a big challenge is migration of historical data. It's a painful process, mostly because it requires manual intervention to clean the data. Cleaning the data means putting it in the format required for the new system. This could include reorganization of folder structures, renaming files, extracting certain data points like expiry dates of agreements, party details, types of agreements, etc., and digitizing that information so it can be captured in the new system. This process is often what requires manual intervention. Of course, you could try to automate parts of this process, but even then, you will often require manual human review to confirm the automated processes. Here are a few tips to ease the burden of cleaning your data. Tip number 1: don't migrate all your data. This may sound counterintuitive, but it's absolutely important to take the time to figure out what is the absolute essential data that requires to be transferred. Find filters that work to weed out non essential data. Maybe you need data from the last 5 years, maybe you need data only for your live contracts, or maybe you can completely ignore data of a certain division because it closed down. Essentially, try and filter out all non essential data so that you reduce the workload of the migration. If, however, it is determined, despite all your efforts of trying to weed out non essential data, that all your data has to be migrated, don't try to do it all at once. Do it in phases after prioritizing what data needs to move first. Tip number 2: sort through your historic data. Understanding what data points from the historical data needs to be entered into the new system and figuring out how to extract those data points is going to be key. Maybe you need to run an OCR tool on the dataset so that the documents become machine readable and you can do a control F. Sort through the data to understand what types of documents make up the historic data. It could be which are the types of agreements that are contained in that data. Are there internal approval emails, opinions, memos? Understand what are the types of documents that make up your data set and how many of those documents pertain to live and closed matters, and whether any specific document is required to be maintained from a regulatory record retention requirement. If you have the budget, you could even use a software tool to help you identify and weed out different versions of the same document, as well as duplicate copies of the same document. You could also try using an AI tool to extract specific data points that it can be used to key in the data into the new system. Essentially, before you begin the cleaning process, sort through your data and understand what types of documents are contained in your historical data and what are the data points from those documents that you wish to move into the new system. This helps in devising a smart strategy to filter out data that may not be essential for the transfer. 3. Get external help if necessary. Often, the exercise of cleaning data will require inputs from members of the team, as they will be the ones who are most familiar with the data. That said, sometimes it may be possible to teach other people, like a paralegal, an intern, or a secondee, how to interpret and clean the data. If that is viable, I highly recommend using external help, as cleaning your data is tedious and will take away from your team's existing responsibilities. So, any extra help would be very welcome. 4. Pilot test the integrations. Typically, if the volume of data to be migrated is large, then it may be optimal to use a software tool to migrate the clean data. It is best to try that migration with a sample set of clean data first to check if the data gets transferred seamlessly. Often, it is at this point you may identify certain glitches in the extracted data points or the data transfer process. Knowing that upfront will help you fix that early on in the process. 5. Effective communication. As we've talked about before, data migrations are painful but necessary transitions, much like vaccinations for children. So, you need to spend enough time sensitizing the team about the pain ahead, along with the added benefits, just like you would prepare a child before an important vaccination. Inform the team that until the migration is complete, they will have a few added responsibilities like cleaning the data, or if you've been able to hire external help, they need to train that help on how to clean the data. And they should be aware that there are likely to be a few hiccups along the way using the system during the layover process. And finally, educate them about the complete benefits of the new system to each individual as well as for the team as a whole. Remember, data migrations are never going to be easy, but thinking through the above points and planning accordingly can make the process a lot more manageable for the team. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.